say, oh, if you need to, with some people, probably not with you and your job.
I'd like to thank everybody who voted in this election. Primaries do matter. It's very hard in August to get folks out to the polls, and I appreciate everybody who came out. But feeling good tonight, but the work's not done.
Absolutely. So what's next?
What's next is we regroup, we gather, we make sure we're primed and ready for the general election. You know, we had such a short period of time. I got in this race very late, and I'm so appreciative to my team and all my supporters. Folks knocked doors with me. They wrote letters with me. You know, they talked to folks in grocery stores with me. They did everything they could on the ground, and I can't thank them enough. And obviously, I would be remiss if I did not thank our wonderful Local 64 Fire Union, our Labor's 1290, IBEW, Kansas City Building Trades. I mean, all the unions, all the labor supported this effort, and I can't thank them enough for their help.
So for those who haven't been following this election closely, here's an opportunity for you to introduce yourself and tell us what experience you bring to the table.
Thanks, I appreciate that. So I'm Rose Mulvaney Henry. I am a lifelong DOT. I've lived here, was born here, raised here. Very, very proud of that. In the last 30-plus years, I've been an attorney and an executive in the telecommunications industry. And so I'm hoping to bring a very different flavor to this next administration. I'm hoping to bring some business expertise, right? I'm hoping to bring some tenets of the business world that we use, accountability, transparency, all those kinds of wonderful things that we're all accountable as shareholders every day for. Hoping to bring that, and obviously world-class customer service to Wyandotte County, because I know that folks believe in this message that together, all of us, we know our greatest days are ahead of us, and if we band together, we can actually help KCK and Wyandotte County reach its full potential.
So now that the campaign is going to be in full swing any moment now, maybe tomorrow after you get some rest, what do you want voters to know about your priorities and your ideas for achieving them? I know when you were at that forum, you were saying, hey, look, we've held public office because it's an elected office at VPU, but you're saying I haven't been in the mayor's office. I haven't been in the county commission. So some of this stuff might be new to you.
Some of this stuff is new to me, but I will tell you, fundamentally, foundational relationships are really important. Collaboration is really important. And so what I'd like to see us do first and foremost is work together with the commissioners. They all represent individual districts. A couple of them represent at-large districts. Together, we need to focus on what the priorities are for the entire of the community and be able to implement those. And if we're not all on the same page, we can't get there, right?
Well, so what are those priorities?
Well, so economic development, first and foremost. We all understand how high our property taxes are. We have a density problem. We don't have enough households and businesses in Wyandotte County and KCK to spread our costs across all of them. So if we don't bring new projects in, could be mixed use, could be small business, could be a lot of things, right? We don't bring them in, we can't get there. We've got to diversify that in some way, right? So that's number one. Number two, we've got to restore trust in the unified government. It's broken right now. And I believe if we lead by example, we build those relationships, we actually empower folks with the unified government to do things maybe differently, we've got to turn the page on the politics of the past. We just have to. And we need bold leadership to do that. And I'm pretty sure I'm the right person for it.
Well, thank you for your time. I'm sure we'll hear much more from you in the next 3 months.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming out.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the live desk. It is election night and some results are already finalized. You just heard from Rose Mulvaney Henry. She just spoke with our reporter, Betsy Webster. She is one of the finalists in the race for the mayor of Kansas City, Kansas. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Katie Bird. I want to go ahead and take you now to our website where you can see the election results not only in Wyandotte County. These races have already been called, but as well as multiple counties on the Missouri side and different cities as well. So you can see the final two in the race for mayor of Kansas City, Kansas is Crystal Watson and Rose Mulvaney Henry. 100% of votes have been recorded, and this race again has been called. So Rose Mulvaney Henry, she received a whopping 3,619 votes. Next up, Crystal Watson, she received 3,031 votes. The other four candidates will not be making it to the November election. Now, I want to go ahead and give you just a little background on these two candidates that if you live in Wyandotte County, you will be seeing their names on your ballot in just a few short months. And if you're just now joining us, you just heard from Rose Mulvaney Henry. She is excited to be one of the top two candidates in this mayoral race. Rose is actually a member of the Board of Public Utilities in Wyandotte County. She's also a telecommunications lawyer. The other candidate that she will be going against is Crystal Watson. Crystal currently leads a nonprofit that assists Kansas City, Kansas public schools. So Crystal was a CEO of the Heartland Black Chamber for 12 years and was deputy chief of staff for Mayor Dave Alvey before this. So both of these candidates have great resumes, and I'm sure you will be hearing much from them in the weeks and months leading up to that final general election again in November. I want to go ahead and direct you back to the KCTV5 website, where if you go to the top, I'll take you back. So if you are hopping on this website, you click on this election results, sort of a teal banner right here at the top. It'll take you right to those updates. Of course, at the top is the KCK mayor, but let's say you live in Platte County, Cass County, Jackson County, maybe Lenexa, Oak Grove, Parkville. You can go to this drop down menu and for yourself click and see those latest results. And Wyandotte County is not the only race that has been called. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here. Now, the Wyandotte County Sheriff's race has also been called, of course, reporting again 100%. Daniel Soptic, he received 57.1% of votes at almost 6,500. Next up, you have Celicia Towers also moving on to that November election again. Celicia received 2,473 votes. David Carney was also running, but since there were only 2 open seats, he did not make the cut, but it was a very close race. He received 20.9% of votes. Celicia, she received 21.9%, so it was only less than 100 votes difference. And you right now, looking at the live numbers, you can easily see why local elections matter just as much or more than any election. Even though this is an off year, it is an odd year, these races are vital as well. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. We're going to go ahead and hop over to, let's next go to Parkville's Proposition 2. This is out in Platte County. I want to go ahead and direct you here. So Proposition C in Parkville did not pass. This again was a very close race. 56.4% of voters did not agree in favor of this proposition, but 43.6% of voters did pass this. And in case you are curious, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through what each of these propositions are in these races that have been called. So this was over, of course, a property tax levy of just 0.1665. This had been levied from the year 2004 all the way through 2024. Today, voters in Platte County voted that this Proposition C would not pass. Now, next, I want to go ahead and take you to Ray County, as their Proposition 2 also didn't pass, interestingly enough. Give me just a second here. Next, we're going to go ahead and take you to the Lenexa City Council out in Johnson County. The top two candidates that will again be going on to the final race in November. You have John Handley. He received 57.4% of votes. Joe Shaw, he also has made it to the next final round with 32.7% of votes. Now, I'm going to go ahead and direct you to our live update ticker in just a second. We will be right back after this short break. Hello, welcome back to the live desk. I'm Katie Bird, bringing you the latest election results as we receive them right here in the KCTV5 newsroom. Go ahead and take a look at your screen. I'm going to break down every race in every county, not only in Wyandotte County, which obviously are the bigger races, but also in Platte County, Cass County, and Jackson County. I'm going to go ahead and pull up these results full screen for you. So Proposition C in Platte County did not pass tonight. There were a little over 1,000 voters. You can see it was a very close race, and this was regarding property taxes. They had been levied from 2004 to 2024. This was a levy of 0.1665 cents on the dollar. You can see 647 voters in Platte County today voted against this passing. On the flip side, 43% voted for the passage of this. And this is not the only close race you will be seeing tonight. I want to go ahead and take you next to the Hardin Central C2 proposition. In this race, there were almost 300 voters. Again, just a margin of about 50 voters. This proposition in Hardin Central did not pass as well. 61% of voters, that was 163 voters, voted against this proposition passing. 104 voted in favor, but of course that wasn't the majority. Next, I'm taking you to the Concordia local use tax. In this race, there was a there were 3 people that decided that this would be passed. This is why we always say it is so crucial, especially in these smaller cities, smaller counties, to get out and allow your voice to be heard. 47 people in Concordia voted in favor of the local use tax. 44 voted against it. Of course, that is only 3 people that made the difference in deciding if this tax would be passed. Next up, I want to take you to the Concordia Special Road District question. So 84% of voters voted in favor. That was 109, and just 20, this was 15% of voters voted against. The Concordia Special Road District question did pass today. We have just received word of all of these in about the past 20 minutes. I want to go ahead and take you next to Cass County. This is, again, reporting at 100%. This race has been called. There were just a little bit over 100 voters. 66% of voters voted in favor of number 6 on the ballot, and this was having to do with the Cass County Waterworks system. Basically, voters decided if they wanted revenue bonds in the amount of $4 million to be issued for the purpose of extending and improving the waterworks system out in Cass County. Now, next up on the list, we're going to go ahead and look at, of course, the biggest race we've been covering tonight. If you've been tuning in on the live desk since we just started coverage, then you would have heard from Rose Mulvaney Henry. She was the top performer in this race out of 6 candidates tonight. And if you're curious, well, why are there 2 winners? Well, this is because it was a primary local election. Both Crystal Watson and Rose Mulvaney Henry, the 2 finalists, will be on your ballot in November for the Wyandotte County general election. You can see Rose and Crystal both received over 3,000 votes. Rose received 31%, while Crystal received 26%. So we will be seeing both of these ladies in just a few short months on the ballot. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to our next race here. And this is for the Wyandotte County Sheriff. And you can see Daniel Soptic, who is the current sheriff of Wyandotte County, carried these votes. He received 57%. Celicia Towers, she is also making it onto your next ballot. She received almost 2,500 votes as well. Unfortunately, David Carney did not make the cut, but you can see just how close of a race this was. Only about 109 voters decided between David Carney and Celicia Towers. If you've been watching with us on the KCTV5 live desk from earlier today, then you know the importance of these local primary elections. And if you heard Rose Mulvaney Henry earlier speaking with our reporter Betsy Webster, then you know she even said it herself, just how hard it can be to get voters to come out in August. But of course, it obviously pays off. Go ahead and take a look again at your screen here. I'm going to go ahead next and take you to the Lenexa City Council ward. John Handley and Joe Scholl both are making it to the November election on your ballots. John Handley received 57% of votes, while Joe Scholl received 32%. Trevor Keegan unfortunately did not make the cut. I have a few more races that I want to walk through with you on the live desk, so don't go away yet, especially if you are a resident of Jackson County, because this pertains to you. So this was having to do, of course, with the city of Raytown. Had about 1,500 voters. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this question for you now so you can see exactly what passed tonight for yourself. So this had to do with a tax increase in Raytown. This was a tax increase to, of course, increase sales taxes to fund local parks and storm water control at an increased rate of 0.25 to 1%. You can see over 1,100 voters in Jackson County today, and maybe even some absentee and early voters as well, voted in favor of this sales tax increase to fund these local parks. On the flip side, over 400 voted against it, but of course, this did get passed this week. I am going next to go ahead and take you to Oak Grove. So this ballot measure had to do with tax levies regarding the school district of Oak Grove. So this was voted to pass. This would authorize an increase in the operating tax levy to $3.6 per $100 in the assessed valuation in the tax year of 2025. They had almost 800 voters show out for this election today. Now, I want to go ahead and take you, of course, we are covering this election tonight, but our reporter, Nija Hood, was at the polls yesterday, and she spoke with voters on why it's just so important to show out for these smaller primary elections. So go ahead and take a listen in now.
And that's what I tell my children.
At the age of 83, Christine Allen has voted in more Wyandotte County elections than she can count. With each passing year, she's developed a deeper sense of its purpose.
It means a lot to me because we need to understand the young people are not voting. We need to interest them in voting. They feel that they are being let down because they're not making enough money.
According to the Wyandotte County Election Office, early in-person voting numbers have been steadily growing with a 15 to 20% turnout in this election. 4 years ago, turnout was a third of that. Some voters say they see this growth as progress.
Just fantastic. For Wyandotte County, who traditionally have a low turnout, for it to be up the way it is, I think people are interested, they're engaged, they want to know what's going on in the community.
The Wyandotte County Election Office attributes increased voter turnout to a heightened interest in the KCK mayoral race. For voters like Robert Martinez, he says his interest started at home.
My father, who is an original Dot from Argentina, he lives with us now. He's 91 years old.
He says he voted early so he'd have more time to accompany his father on election day when it's his turn.
He says, son, I don't know who I'm voting for, but I'm going to vote.
Yes.
So we have to do this early for us, and then tomorrow he'll be in line. He wants to come out on voting day. That's important to him. It's a tradition thing.
It's a long-standing tradition rooted in a fundamental right. He encourages others to exercise.
People fought for this right. Get out and exercise your right. Absolutely. Stay informed, too.
Every vote counts. And that's what I tell my children.
At the age of 83, Christine Allen has voted in more Wyandotte County elections than she can count.
Thanks so much for tuning in on the KCTV5 live streaming desk. Now, if you're currently watching on YouTube and Facebook, I want to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and just go onto our CTV streaming platform. So what that means for you, you can watch live on our Roku streaming app along with our website, and those are your best two options to do that. So go ahead, if you are on our social media platforms, I'm going to go ahead and direct you there now. Thanks so much for tuning in.